Welcome to Guide Mia. Today we're going to talk about Fix Model, Cympha Studio's one-click mesh repair. This is for clinicians and lab designers who've just loaded an STL, PLY, or OBJ that needs cleaning up before registration, measurement, or export, a raw intraoral scan, a segmented tooth mesh, a third-party export, any geometry that arrived as triangle soup. By the end you'll know when Fix Model is the right hammer versus the targeted tools, how to run it from the right-click menu, exactly what the pipeline does to your geometry, how to read the status messages, and the one gotcha that catches people out, the largest region step. On time, this is a seconds-long operation. The pipeline takes a moment on a single arch scan, and noticeably longer on a dense full-mouth mesh, but it is never a job you schedule, it's a click you make while the file is still fresh on screen. It's a short lecture too, so follow along in studio, or listen now and read the written guide later. Let's go. First, when to reach for it. Fix Model is a single, conservative pass over the entire mesh. It's the right choice when the problems are the generic kind that fresh scanner output and third-party exports arrive with small holes, duplicate vertices, non-manifold edges, and you just want a sane mesh before you do real work on it. It is not the tool for a defect you can point at. If you can see exactly where the problem is, one attachment bump, one noisy patch, and you want the rest of the surface left alone, use the targeted brushes instead, smart cleanup, delete region, or local smoothing, each covered in their own lecture. The rule is simple: unknown, scattered problems, whole mesh, Fix Model. Known, visible, local problem, brush. 3 things before you click anything. 1. A mesh in the scene via Add Model on the top toolbar, open optical scan file in the hamburger menu, drag and drop, or a link. 2. No Guide Mia case loaded. Fix Model and the other standalone cleanup commands only appear on the right-click menu for user-added meshes when no full case is open. That's deliberate, so case geometry can't be rewritten by accident. If you have a case open, use Clear Scene first, or a fresh Studio tab. 3. And don't skip this, a backup of the original file. Fix Model rewrites geometry in place. Ctrl-Z restores the previous geometry, but it's exactly one step of undo, not a history. If you only notice a problem after further edits, the backup is your way home. Sign into studio.cympha.com and open your mesh. Running it takes 4 clicks worth of effort. Right-click directly on the mesh body in the 3D view. Right-clicking empty space won't open the cleanup menu. Studio needs a pick on the mesh itself. The menu opens at the cursor, and its title shows the file name of the mesh you clicked, so on a scene with 2 arches you can confirm which one you're about to edit. If it's the wrong one, or you open the menu by accident, click outside it, or press escape, and it closes without doing anything at all. Nothing on this menu commits until you pick a command. Choose Fix Model. The viewer switches to await cursor while the pipeline runs on the main thread. On a dense mesh, the browser tab will feel unresponsive for a few seconds, and that's expected, not a hang. Don't reload the tab. Watch the status line at the bottom of the viewport. It says running pipeline at the start, and on success it reads Fix Model complete, holes up to 5 mm, non-manifold, clean, smooth. On failure it says Fix Model failed, with a short reason. On success, the clean geometry replaces the original in the scene, in place. Fix Model is a fixed sequence of conservative steps, always in the same order, over the whole mesh. Step 1 merges coincident points, welding triangles that share a position but not a vertex index, the main fix for STL soup where every triangle is its own island. Step 2 strips non-manifold structure, bad points, problematic edges, internal and hanging elements. Step 3 cleans again and keeps only the largest connected region, dropping floating islands. That's the gotcha we'll return to. Step 4 fills small holes, twice larger openings are deliberately left open so the filter never bridges a real gap, and the second pass catches holes the first exposed. Step 5 is one more clean and a gentle smooth, just enough to remove triangle scale stairstepping without rounding anatomy. Step 6 recomputes vertex normals so shading is stable no matter how the original file stored them. None of this is tunable. Fix Model is intentionally one click. For different hole fill or smoothing behavior on part of a mesh, use the targeted tools. Here's how you know it worked. The status line reads Fix Model complete, listing the passes it ran. The visible mesh keeps its overall shape, same arch, same anatomy, with the small holes closed and the surface a touch smoother than the original. The mesh entry in the models list on the top toolbar is still there, with its color and visibility settings untouched, only the geometry was rewritten. And one detail worth knowing for later: if you save the scene as a project after this, the clean mesh is what travels with the project file, not the original input. That's usually exactly what you want, and it's one more reason the on-disk backup of the source file matters. The project no longer contains the pre-repair version. Now the one place Fix Model can do something you didn't intend. The Keep Largest Connected Region step keeps only the biggest piece by triangle count and discards everything else. For most raw scanner output that's right, the disconnected islands are noise. But if your file contains two real shells that aren't physically connected, say an arch exported with separately segmented isolated teeth, or a facial scan with a detached ear region, the smaller pieces are gone after the pass. If you notice the result is missing material, do not keep working on the reduced mesh. Press Ctrl-Z straight away. One step of undo restores the prefix model geometry, but only if you haven't edited again since. If you have, re-import the original file. Then choose, either pre-merge the shells in your scanning software before bringing the file into Studio, or skip Fix Model for this mesh and use fill holes plus the brushes on the bad regions only. Fix Model can't tell which islands are anatomy and which are noise, that judgment stays with you. The usual sticking points. Fix Model isn't in the right-click menu, most likely a case is loaded. Clear the scene, or you right-clicked a mesh that carries case metadata, like a tooth from a plan, right-click a user-added mesh instead. The status line says Fix Model failed, empty result, the pipeline ran but produced no triangles, which usually means the input was too pathological for the cleanup passes. Re-import the original and go after the problem area with fill holes or smart cleanup first. The mesh looks softer than before and you didn't want smoothing. Fix Model always finishes with that gentle smoothing pass. It's light, but visible on high-resolution scans. If you want zero smoothing, don't use Fix Model, combine fill holes with targeted brush cleanup, or open the scan in a dedicated mesh editing tool. Fix Model dropped a tooth or a small floating piece you wanted to keep. That's the largest region step again. Ctrl-Z to restore the previous geometry, or re-import the original, and then decide, either pre-merge the islands in your scanning software or skip Fix Model and use the brush tools on the specific defect. And if the browser tab feels frozen for several seconds, the pipeline runs on the main thread, so that's normal on a dense full-mouth mesh. Wait for the status line. Reloading the tab mid-pipeline is the only way to actually lose work here. That's Fix Model, one conservative click that handles the generic mess, welds, non-manifold cleanup, small holes, a gentle smooth, so your careful attention goes only to what it couldn't catch. Keep a backup, remember the largest region step, and let it be the first pass on every fresh scan. From here, the natural next lectures are fill holes and smooth for the gentler whole surface passes, and the brush tools for targeted cleanup. One habit ties the whole toolkit together: backup first, Fix Model second, and your own judgment on whatever remains. Everything in this lecture is written down, with every status message in failure mode, at cympha.com. Open Docs and find how to repair a mesh with Fix Model. We're covering every Cympha workflow in this series, one lecture at a time, so subscribe if you'd like the rest. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.